Hi guys, Litu here. I've been getting lots of great feedback from webcomic creators about the Toocheke theme, so I'd like to first express my gratitude to everyone who's tried out the Toocheke theme. It's been overwhelming, the response I've been getting so far, but the question I keep getting asked by many of you out there is, how do I import my comics from ComicPress and Comic Easel into Toocheke? Many of you have been using the ComicPress theme in conjunction with the Comic Easel plugin, and more likely than not, you'll have many comics already published. So as you can guess, it will be a painstaking process re-uploading every single comic. The good news is you do not have to, and I'm going to show you how. So this is the website I have set up with ComicPress and Comic Easel. As you can see, I've already published some of my favorite comics here. If I navigate through, you just notice that there's several comics already published. Okay. So to start the import process, just head on over to your webcomic admin panel, and the first step is going to be deactivating the Comic Easel plugin. So hover over plugins, then click on installed plugins. Okay. Then locate the Comic Easel plugin here and just click deactivate. And you should notice that the comics menu is no longer on the menu bar here. Okay. The next step is we're going to install both Toocheke, the Toocheke WordPress theme, and the Toocheke companion plugin. So for that, first hover over appearance, then themes, then just click on the add new theme, and we're going to do a search for the theme. So just type in Toocheke, and it should be the first one that comes up. Click install, then activate. Now, one note here, ideally I would recommend you use what is called a child theme, but for the purposes of this tutorial, this will do. I've covered child themes in a previous tutorial, and I will add a link to it in the description box below. Okay? So the next step will be activating and installing the Toocheke companion theme, and you will notice there's already a notification here prompting us to install the Toocheke companion plugin. So all you have to do is click on the begin installing plugin, click install, okay, it has been installed, but you still have to go and activate it. So click on return to require plugins installer, then click activate. Okay, so now it should be active. One thing you're going to do is you're going to have to do a bit of a refresh of your webcomic admin panel just to make sure everything has been installed. So click on dashboard, and you'll notice the comics menu appears again here. So everything is all set right now. So all we have to do now is import. So to import, hover over comics, then click on import menu, and then click on the import button. Now before I click on that button, I just want to make sure you make note of one thing. Click on it only once, because if you click on it multiple times, it's going to import the comic, all your comics multiple times. So I would strongly advise just click the button once. So click import, It will take a bit of time here as it imports all the comics. Okay, and eventually you should receive a success message. The comics have been successfully imported from Easel/ComicPress. Okay, so to make sure that has happened, let's go head on over to the front end of the website. So this is the website as it was with ComicPress and Easel. And then if we hit refresh, okay, there it is. If you head on over to the homepage, this was the comic page. So if you head on over to the comic homepage, you'll notice all the comics, all my old comics have been imported over. Okay. And then we click on any of the comics. The comics will show up there. Now you'll notice the thumbnails have been imported also. You may want to change that. You may want to edit those thumbnails. But if you have several comics already, let's say you have hundreds of comics already published, you may not want to go through the process of adding a thumbnail or changing the thumbnails for each and every one of your comics. So one thing you may consider doing is just changing the layout to something that is more traditional, something that is similar to what you had with the ComicPress theme. So to do that, all you have to do is head on over back to the WordPress admin panel. And what you're going to do is hover over Appearance and then click on Customize. Okay. Then click on Home Page Layout, the Home Page Layout menu. So this is the default Webtoon format layout that's currently active. This is the traditional layout, which is kind of like what you would see on the ComicPress layout. And then this is the minimalistic layout, which basically doesn't have any blog or sidebar. It's just a plain comic layout on the home page. So let's try the traditional layout. And as you can see, as soon as I click that, it changes the layout. Okay. And then we're going to have to click Publish to make sure the changes take effect. Okay. Then if you go over to the front end of the website and then click Refresh, the new layout is now up. Okay. And you notice there are no thumbnails, it's just the comic with the navigation bar here. If you navigate through the comics, be able to navigate. So it's more kind of the traditional layout that you may be familiar with. Okay, and that's all there is to it. Feel free to leave your comments in the comment section below. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer or help. And happy tuning.